Hi guys. All right, it is Dimension Part 2. This time we're going to be talking a little bit about backgrounds, perspective, lighting, next steps you're taking in your file. So I've opened up this folder here, or this file, and I have two cans basically positioned as is. What I did was I went on to some free photo stock places, something like Unsplash, perfect opportunity to find some good pictures. So I was able to find this one. Sorry for the coughing here. I like this idea because one, it has the perfect amount of space to add these two cans. It's got a little bit of ambiance. I love the blurred background. Great image to kind of play around with here. All you got to do, I bring it to my desktop. That's just a simple way, or wherever it is in a folder, and you're going to drag it right into your file. And you'll see it's not doing anything just yet, but placing it in the image space that you have created. You'll see it kind of starts to put some grids there, but those are the grids of your cans. What we want to do is get these, you can see it looks a little funky, so we want to match this and basically get the perspective of our products and our packaging into the picture as is. So what you're going to do is basically go right over to here, and then where it says actions, you're going to see match image. You're going to click this, and it's going to give you a few little dots. You're going to say match camera perspective, and then you're going to hit OK. And you see what it does is it basically not only does it take it and turn it a little bit backwards and a little bit kind of more straight, but it applies a lighting that is very similar to what is being seen in the actual picture itself. Okay. I have been hit or miss with this. Sometimes if the picture has enough perspective in it, it will know exactly what to do. And you can see it's turned it and it's made it great. You can even see the shadows here are perfect. If there's any fine tuning, there's things like this where you're going to click here and it's the horizon bar, I believe. Let's see. So you got the dolly tool and the horizon bar. So basically this is something you can swing up and down and even fine tune it even more if it's looking a little wonky with yours. But for now, I think this looks great. This looks really, really good. And it would be something I would go and render. So you can go over here and you can basically, let's go back to environmental light. And again, you can see, you can mess around here a little bit. You can bring the intensity up or down, and you can rotate the reflection. One thing I like about this is it's a great tool to move. See how the reflection moves a little bit back and forth? If you find the glare is right on maybe the logo or some important part of text, you can move that around. And I think the whole reason that's there is to definitely give it that thing, okay? You can see that when you hang it over there, you get that little piece. The colorize tool, I'm not exactly sure what that's gonna do. I think maybe, oh, I could probably give it like, so let's get a color from this yellow. Oh, that's pretty cool. All right, so you can see it actually adds a nice little yellow tint. So if there's some overall color in your thing, it might be worth kind of playing around with it. I'm gonna tone that down a little bit and see how that looks. Okay, so it adds a nice little hue of yellow, which everything else has. So if this is fine, what I'm gonna do is up on here, I'm gonna hit render. And this is where you get your rendering settings, okay? You get three choices, low, medium, high. If you're having issues with saving, my first suggestion would be try the high or medium, okay? And then you're gonna unclick the PSD and you're gonna click PNG, okay? This is only if you're really having issues and it's bogging down and it's taking a long time for your rendering to work. This way, when you do this, you'll see what we get. I'll kind of do this live and see how it works. We'll get some kind of rendering pretty quickly. The PSD, I would only suggest at the very, very end, if you've had a successful render through PNG and you want it to write out and do a final one in a PSD, that's fine. The advantage there is you will get layers and layers and layers to mess around with even in Photoshop. So you'll take that PSD, and as an example, I'm gonna do that right now. So I've done this already in a PSD. I'm gonna bring it to Photoshop. While that's rendering, let's hope I don't blow up my computer. Okay. It's awfully slow. Let's see, try it again. Yeah, it's probably Thinking a little too much here. All right. Well, anyways, I will show that when it's done. You can see the rendering starting to happen. It's looking really good. I can even see that it's matching it pretty well. And this is such a good advantage to have because now it really feels real. You don't have to get in there and do a lot of that fine tuning, okay? So I'm just gonna cancel this, go back to the design, okay? There it is, okay? Let's say you're not doing a background like this and you just want something simple, you just want some color, maybe you found a great image or something unique, okay? So all you gotta do is you're gonna click here on your background, you're gonna delete it. Oh, did I do something different? Let's see. Probably did. Let's see. What did I do wrong? Environment. Here we go. Oh, take this, trash the background. So there we go. We're back to just the white. Okay. So with this, I'm going to take the tool that is named. Let's get these names right while we're here. That's the pan tool, orbit tool. Okay. So perfect. So here's where I want to do something a little bit different and fun with this one. Okay. So I'm going to move it to here. The other thing I want to do too is you can see I haven't done full wraps on these guys. So as I'm doing it, I'm just going to be really conscious that I'm not showing a sliver of where it ends. I'm going to kind of pivot it right to around there. Okay. My rotation is a little bit maybe too much. So let's go here and find a good spot where it's not too bad. I'll bring the intensity down. Let's get those rotating a little bit more here. Okay, that's not bad. Background, click on that blank canvas. What you can do is you can obviously take your eyedropper and you can find a good color that might be something great for all of it. Let's take that. Not that excited about that. Red, let's try the green. Okay, then we can mess around, figure something cool out. Let's say we like that and that looks good. So there you go, you got that. The other thing you can do when you're in this zone is the lighting. Lighting has presets as well. So you're gonna go make sure you're at starter kit here, zoom on down, and here's all your lighting. So as you click, you'll see what it's doing is it's basically giving you all these different studio effects, okay? And I wonder, it'll be interesting to see if we can do the match background because just like we did with the picture, can it do something unique with the green tone that we already have? You can see some of these are a little bit crazy and a little bit zany. So I'm just gonna go back to the most common one, which I think was this one. And let's see. So with this selected, doesn't look like we get anything. Oh yeah, match image. It won't do that, okay? So I'm assuming it's giving you some form of the green once you get in there. You could probably see little bits of it down in here. So that's a way of doing just a colored background, something really clean and vivid. The other thing I would suggest doing is multiple versions of your piece as well. So what you can do here is you can do a save as and basically rename it to master-b or whatever you're calling these. And then you can delete one can or one package and just have that solo one. Because I think it would be great to have solo files for each one. Then that way you can really zoom into these things and export them or crop them within your case study that you're gonna do, okay? I'm gonna show you, let's go and open one that I really like. Let's see. Of course, I can't find it now, but is this my 3D file? Yeah. Let's see, so it's desktop junk feed. Here we go. All right. Perfect. Let's see if this is it. So I'm not going to save those files. You can save it. If you open a new dimension file, it will ask you immediately. You can't have two open at the same time. I get that. It's probably just too much for a computer to handle. So this was one that I changed the perspective completely because I really wanted to do something dynamic and cool with it. So let's see, here we go. All right, so I had this one previously done. Again, with the background and everything, this one was cool. What I do is I'll go on to some of the free sites or even Google image search, and I'll look for studio backdrops or studio backgrounds. This one, I think I just looked up, rough concrete background and was able to find it. It was actually pretty good resolution. When I had it there, I took everything and positioned it well, and you can baseline everything by using, I believe, when you have something here, you hit this little button here, which is move to ground, and it will find the spot within your image to place it on, and you'll have it. That's kind of baseline. Anything below that would be like sub. So this way it gets everything lined up. So I had this one, and I did like the way it was going, but I wanted to try something a little dynamic because I found this really cool asphalt background that was almost in like a 3/4 perspective. So what I did was, let's see, is this it? Don't save. Let's see how that looks. Even this is a little slow. There it is. Sweet. So you can see how the perspective of this asphalt has a perspective going back there. And so what I did was I used this tool. When I placed it in there, you can see if I take this now, it's totally wrong, right? So let's see if I can get it. I'll try it again. So I took all this, moved it around, tried to find, and what's great is it gives you, see that grid? You can almost kind of use that to figure out how it works with the perspective of the picture. And there you go. What's nice is it has all the shadows based on your changing and your positioning. It puts them in there as well. So you select everything, or you deselect everything, I'm sorry, and you go over to that orbit tool, and that will allow you to change it and go anywhere you want like that. But again, let's get it back in track here. I'm going to use those lines to see how it looks. I think we got to dip it down a little bit. Perfect. Okay. And when I rendered this one, wow, I mean, it just came out so good. It had all the right lighting and everything in there 100%. So that's a way you can take, let's say you want to do some dynamic pose like this and get it a little bit different, or you want to do something more like this, where it's like kind of like right from the bottom. If you find the right image that works for this, great. Here, obviously, if I did that, I'd have to change the lighting and everything because the reflection there is a little bit too much. But what's cool is when you use the box setting here, you can see the box has some texture to it. So it really looks like a printed piece. And a few of you are doing some boxes and some things like that in addition to your jars and your containers and your tubes. So what's neat about that is you can even see it right there on here. It even has that really cool paper texture to it. All right. So I think that's about it. If there's any other questions, what I'm going to do is kind of just make sure I covered everything here. Whatever I didn't will be in the next one. Have fun with this. Really have fun with it. It's definitely a blast. I'm learning every time I play with this. So enjoy. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.